Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm going to be doing my March Madness bracket in today's video. Yesterday I did a video of it, but for some reason I had network issue of it uploaded. So I'm going to go with this one here. See if the network will be fine. As you can see, I have Duke as my national champion, North Carolina as the representative from the right side. Duke and North Carolina in the championship game, with Duke winning. This would be the fourth time they have played all year, and if Duke won, they would split. So first we're going to look at the top left part of the bracket, which is the East region. Duke is the number one overall seed, but number one seed in the East. They will play in the first round the winner of a play-in game, North Carolina Central or North Dakota State. I picked North Carolina Central to face them, but it doesn't matter because neither North Carolina Central or North Dakota State will win against Duke. Very likely. So I'm picking Duke, obviously. Duke and Michigan State, I'm picking to meet in the Elite Eight. Not a lot of upsets here. The one upset I have is Maryland beating LSU in the second round and getting into the Sweet 16, but pretty standard bracket. I mean, I have UCF, a 9 seed, beating the 8 seed VCU, but that's not really an upset. Although, I really could see Belmont and maybe even Temple making a run as that 11 seed in the play-in game there, but I just don't see it. It could happen again, but I just don't see it. Moving on in the bottom left, the west bracket, Gonzaga's the number one seed there. I believe Gonzaga was the number 4 overall seed, so the worst 1 seed. They play a play-in game. Actually, tonight, not sure, I can't remember what time, but Fairleigh Dickinson and Prairie View A&M play tonight. And Gonzaga will play the winner of that play-in game. But it doesn't really matter. Although I picked Prairie View A&M to win, it doesn't matter because Gonzaga's going to beat them. They're going to slaughter whichever team they play. And again, not a lot of upsets in this bracket except for Murray, well, a little bit more than in the East. I'm picking Murray State with Ja Morant to beat Marquette. Marquette, to me, they are a very high. That is a very high for them at a 5 seed. Murray State, I think, has the firepower to beat them. They can play with tempo. They can score. Ja Morant is one of the best players in basketball this year. Marquette, don't forget about Marcus Howard and some of the other players they have that can score. But I just think Murray State's coming in much hotter and just a better team, right? Playing better right now than Marquette. I think Murray State with the upset. And the other play-in game, Arizona State and St. John's are playing Buffalo. I picked St. John's to win that play-in game, but it doesn't overly matter because I have Buffalo winning, and I actually have Buffalo as a 6 seed making the Sweet 16. I think they pull the upset over Texas Tech, especially if Buffalo can make some shots over that Texas Tech defense, which is one of the best in the country. But I see Buffalo making the Sweet 16. I do see Florida beating Nevada, but if I remember correctly, Florida was a favorite against Nevada. I'm a little bit surprised, but Nevada starts, or at least the game that I saw, Nevada started 5 forwards. So they have a very big lineup, and it's also a very experienced lineup. But Florida is coming in pretty hot lately. I believe their last loss was in the SEC SEC tournament against a very hot Auburn team. Florida is shooting the ball better than normal, better than they have most of the season, and they are playing some defense. They are a good rebounding team, a good defending team, and they shoot the 3 ball pretty well. So Florida, I think, beats Nevada there. But other than that, it's kind of standard. I have the 1 and 2 seed Gonzaga and Michigan in the Elite Eight, with Gonzaga representing the West Regional to face Duke in the Final Four. So we'll go up to the top right part of the bracket, which is the South bracket. Virginia, the number 1 seed here. If I remember correctly, Virginia is the 2nd overall seed. My favorite team, Ole Miss, is in the field after having a 12-20 season last year. We had a 20-12 season last year. So yeah, I think my Ole Miss Rebels beat Oklahoma in the first round by just a little bit, but then they've got to face Virginia likely because the 16 seed here is Gardner Webb. I have heard that Gardner Webb is the best 16 seed here, but Gardner Webb is not that good. Their defense is not good. Let's just say they're nowhere near as good as UMBC was last year. If UMBC were in the field this year, I don't know that I couldn't help but pick them to win a game just because of what they did last year, but that's off topic. I do have Virginia making it to the Elite Eight, along with the 2 seed Tennessee. Tennessee, a very good team. Being an SEC fan, I know a lot about them. My Ole Miss Rebels lost by a couple points to them a couple weeks ago. Tennessee's a good team. They can play defense, but they can also play offense. They're very high rated on both of them. The very experienced team, a lot of juniors and seniors on this team. They are a good squad. I just don't... The only real upset in this bracket, I have Oregon making it to the Sweet 16, and it's because Oregon has won 8 straight games. I'm picking them to win 10 straight before they fall to Virginia. Wisconsin's a little banged up. I just think Oregon's going to run past them. Then they're going to play a Kansas State team that may or may not have Dean Wade. If they don't have Dean Wade, Oregon's going to win. Peyton Pritchard and Oregon have been playing very well, especially on defense as of late. And I do have Tennessee and Virginia in the finals of this regional, and Tennessee representing the South. I just don't think Virginia's got what it takes to make the Final Four run, but I do see them making the Elite Eight. That's all for the South bracket as of now. And the final bracket on the bottom right, it's the Midwest. North Carolina, the number 1 seed here, the number 3 overall seed, facing Iona. Not a very good 16 seed. They're not good. North Carolina's going to run all over Iona. Easy win. The 2 seed here is Kentucky. A good 2 seed as well. No real upsets here. I do have Auburn, the 5 seed, beating the 4 seed Kansas and making it to the Sweet 16. Kansas is down this year. I do think they managed to get by Northeastern. Northeastern, I think, gives them a little bit of a run for their money, but Kansas wins that. Also, Auburn, very hot lately. That is why I picked them to get to the Sweet 16. New Mexico State is a good team, but I think Auburn is just going to do just enough to win that. And then I do have Houston making it to the Elite Eight over Kentucky. Houston and Kentucky are both good teams, but just kind of a coin flip. Went with Houston there. But I do have North Carolina representing the regional in the Final Four. Wofford here playing Kentucky in the second round is what I have. Wofford plays Seton Hall in the first round. Wofford, I would not be surprised if Wofford made a run. Wofford is a somewhat experienced team. They've got players that can shoot the lights out of the basketball. They can really shoot. They're one of the best shooting teams in the country. They live and die by the 3, but they mostly live by the 3. If I remember correctly, they have won... I can't remember if it's Wofford that's won 20, close to 20 games in a row or 20 out of 21. Maybe it's not Wofford, but Wofford has won a lot of games in a row, and they are hot. They can shoot. I see them getting past Seton Hall. I could envision a scenario where Wofford gets past Kentucky, and even Houston or Iowa State or Ohio State or whoever gets into that Sweet 16 there. I could definitely see Wofford making it to the Elite Eight. I mean, I know that's kind of surprising, but I do think they make it to the second round. I'm just not bold enough to pick them to get past that second round. I think Kentucky wins that. This Midwest bracket, to me, is up for grabs. They're one of a few teams that could win this. North Carolina could win it. Obviously, I picked them to win it. Kentucky obviously can win it. Houston obviously can win it. Those are the 3 seeds. I could see Auburn, the 5 seed, winning it. It's a stretch, but I could see Iowa State and Wofford winning this regional. It would take a lot of luck and the Cinderella factor, but I could see several teams winning this regional. I mean, the South comes down to 2 to 3 teams max winning that regional. The East, to me, just one or two teams. And the West, to me, it's really one. I mean, Murray State can make a big run in the West, but the Midwest, to me, has the most potential to be chaotic. Not necessarily the most upsets, but the one that could have, other than a 1 or 2 seed making the Final Four. I don't have that happening, but it could very well happen. And as you can see in the Final Four, I have Duke and Gonzaga on the left side. Duke from the east, Gonzaga from the west. I have Duke winning that one in a very close game. That would be a very competitive game, but Duke wins out in the end. Tennessee from the south bracket, and North Carolina from the Midwest regional. Again, I think this is about a 10-point game, but I think UNC wins this, faces Duke, and loses in a close one. But this is my bracket, guys, so if you want to comment down what you think about my bracket below or what your bracket was, please feel free to do that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you can. And thank you guys for all your support, and God bless.